All right. Well, as Reverend Kim just mentioned, our theme this year is 2022 is up to you. But it's also important for us to remember that every day of our life in years gone by has been up to us too. And the creative ability and responsibility of our divinity will go right into 2023 if we do. And we'll experience what we're creating as we go along. This year will unfold in sameness or newness. It will manifest continued conflict or confusion, or the discovery of well-being and harmony. And all of it will come out of the choices that you and I make as we live this year. Now, we don't have to believe that's true. In fact, Abraham Hicks tells us you are so free. You can choose bondage. You are so free that you can choose not to feel free. That's freedom. And we got it all. We're so free in our divinity, we can deny that our power of thought matters, that there is power in our thoughts and our words and in our actions, and we can live as if nothing we think or say or do makes a difference. We can choose to sit back mentally and just see what happens this year without our conscious participation in the direction our thoughts are taking our life. We can cheer when things go our way and call it good luck, and we can complain when they don't and call it bad luck. And that's the way to live in this world. But it's not the most powerful way that we can live in this world as divine beings with the freedom to create and experience good things, happy things, holy things, healthy things, and uplifting things while we're here. So, if we'd like to improve the days of our life so that we laugh more and love more, so that we feel fulfilled and peaceful more often, it's up to us to make a conscious decision to take ownership of our human experience. To be aware of our thinking and how we're feeling in those moments we're thinking and feeling whatever it is, and to know that it matters so that we can use our inseparable connection with the law of attraction, that creative power of the universe that responds to the vibration of our thoughts and will allow us, as we allow it, through our good feeling thoughts, to attract into our experience people and situations and encounters and activities that we'll enjoy living this year. In this way, we'll stop bracing ourselves for whatever fearful thing might happen in this world next, and embrace each moment with the awareness that we are free to choose how we will experience the moments in our life and how we will respond to each moment as we're there within it. Maya Angelou said, "Do the best you can until you know better. Then when you know better, do better." Now, we've all done the best we could since the day we arrived in this human environment, no matter what we did. The thought that I could have done better can only occur in retrospect, within a mind that knows better now. So we proceeded to live our life based on what we heard from the voices of authority around us. And because we believed what we were told about ourselves and life, our lives seemed to validate that what we were told was true. We didn't know back then that we experience life as we believe life to be. I mean, if we'd have known way back then, we would have probably started trying to change our thinking earlier. If we're not feeling good about who we are yet, it's because we haven't unlearned the limitations about ourselves yet and discovered our divine power. We've always, from the get-go, had the power to deliberately direct our life in positive ways. We just need to know that we can choose our life direction and go where we want to go. All our life, despite the encouragement or discouragement of those around us, we've been the only one to be responsible for what we see in ourselves and in the world around us. We just need to know that our view of life is determined by us and only us, and no one can change that view but us. There's a Facebook post that comes around from time to time that says, "You've mastered the selfie, now master thyself." And I love that one because it's up to us to decide if now is the time for us to know better so that we can do better. No matter what our chronological age, it's not too late for us to become a master of our life. No matter what our current health condition may be, no matter what our physical situation may be, no matter where we find ourselves physically in this moment, the power of choice still belongs to us, and there's still time for us to take time to get to know who we truly are so that we can live in joy and freedom from now on. Deep within us, we must know that that's true, or we wouldn't be here wanting to know more about the divine power within us so that we can do better and live in a world that gets better and better. Good for us that no matter what road we've traveled, no matter how bumpy that journey may still be, that we want to take charge of our life now. Because I believe it's begun to dawn on all of us that the world we live in can only become better and better for us to live in as we change our thoughts and words and actions in positive ways. Sri Sri Ravi Shankar said, "Discover the power of who you are. With that, your charm becomes eternal. Your love becomes unconditional, and great strength arises." When we deliberately choose divine power over our human impulses, when we focus our mind on the good we want to experience, despite what's going on in this world in any moment, we do better in our life. Life doesn't happen to us from the outside. It happens within the vibrational possibilities within our mind, wherever our mind is focused. We do better in our life when we focus on what we want instead of what we don't want. Then we're able to perceive what we want as it arrives. We do better when we know better than to try to control the world around us and blame anything outside of us for our experiences. We do better when we know that to blame and complain is to give up our divine power to choose and to hand over our freedom to the fickle finger of fate. It takes courage to take a stand for the better we know, especially when those we know may not agree with the way we live our life and may be pointing to all those things they believe we should be focusing on in this world. But unless we discover our divine daring, we'll miss out on the purpose of this human experience with all of its contrasts to choose from, to prove to ourselves the powerful being we are through the mastery of our mind. Now, my talk this morning, A Hero's Heart, is in recognition of Martin Luther King Jr. Day tomorrow, which is celebrated on the third Monday in January. Now, Martin Luther King found his divine daring and he lived it. He proved the power of his divinity through the force of his humanity. He said and did so many remarkable things during his earth life that a short Sunday talk could not even begin to mention. He demonstrated that responses to life don't need to be a mindless reaction to what's going on, but a conscious decision that we can make. He said, I have decided to stick with love. Hate is too great a burden to bear. Though Martin Luther King was a Baptist minister, his words and actions reflected spirituality rather than religion. He knew that love is a spiritual gift that belongs to everyone and anyone who decides to choose it. A hero's heart bypasses the mind of judgment and rules of right and wrong, and allows love to flow freely outward from the center of the heart into the world in all directions without conditions. We're all born with a hero's heart. But so often we allow fear within our mind to cover it. And it's time for ourselves and this world for us to rediscover it's there. Love is a choice that belongs to us in every moment, no matter what may be happening in that moment, no matter what anyone may be saying or doing. Because love is what we are. A hero's heart comes naturally to us when we choose love over fear. Now, many years ago, I used to drive my grandson, Zach, to kindergarten, elementary school, about 5 miles away from his house. And as most of us know, there's nothing more innocent or enthusiastic or filled with happy insights than a child's conversation about the world he or she sees. And so my grandson was such a joy to listen to, and I looked forward to our private drive each day. Now, he was 5 years old when his sister was born. And one morning as we were driving, Zach was unusually quiet. And I waited, and I waited. And finally I said, "What are you thinking about?" And he said, "Well, I'm thinking about my little sister and how I will always keep her safe and how I'll always protect her and how I would fight a dragon if one came along." And I was just thinking about that dragon, and I wasn't afraid. A hero never stops to ask, "What's in it for me?" before acting courageously. A hero allows love to be the reason for everything. There's never an unsung hero. Love knows where it flows, and it always flows through a hero's heart on the vibration of a choir of angels. The spiritual teacher Marcos Gualberto said there is no happiness as long as the sense of separativity is present. Me and the world, myself and the other. We are all born with a love that's intended to bring us together in cooperation and in harmony and in peace. A love in which there's no sense of you and me separately. We are so free that we can choose not to feel our unity and to choose the bondage of living separately. But A Course of Love tells us, make a new choice. The choice that your heart yearns to make for you and that your mind is finding increasingly difficult to deny. When you choose unity over separation, you choose reality over illusion. You end opposition by choosing harmony. You end conflict by choosing peace. Our heart knows that conflict, war, and the control of anyone, anywhere, will not bring peace on earth. It knows peace comes from our awareness that we are one life together. If we let it, our heart will inspire our mind to perceive this human experience as the one creation it is, and to speak to each other and speak of each other as one holy family of love. Martin Luther King said, "Darkness cannot drive out darkness. Only light can do that. Hate cannot drive out hate. Only love can do that. Peace on earth is up to you and me. And we are so free, we can choose to love unconditionally." Namaste. Whew. All right. Well, this is our opportunity. I mean, Mooji says that if we just walked around saying thank you, thank you, thank you, and being grateful for everything, that our life would transform. So I'm including this thank you as a specific to each of you. Thank you for your beautiful love and support for as long as we've been around. But through the weirdness and the difficulties and the challenges and the confusion and all of the things that may have kept you doubting, that you stayed true. And you stayed with us. And you supported us by being present, by watching live stream, by watching later. And you have supported us financially so that we can stay here and do this, and through this, reach all those hearts that are longing to know their own courage. And so if you don't know how to support LEC, there is not one person more qualified or knowledgeable to tell you how to do that than LEC's treasurer, Jamie Phillips.
Well, hello, everybody.
Hello.
And you at home. Ways you can support us are through our Facebook page, facebook.com/Life Enrichment Center. You can pay on PayPal. It's LEC2512@gmail.com would be where you'd pay PayPal. You can pay on our website. You can hit the contribute button. We're at lecflint.com. Of course, you can always send a check to 2512 South Dye Road, Flint, Michigan, 48432. And of course, everyone here in the sanctuary can just hit that offertory plate. So appreciate that. So why don't you come on up, our offertory receiver, gratitude receiver. And while we're doing our collection here in the sanctuary, we're going to listen to Grateful by Daniel Namad and Nemo Patel. And hold on just one second, Janice. And then oh, okay. It's okay, while you're doing that, I'll continue. And please stay tuned for Reverend Stephanie's prayer of appreciation and gratitude after. It's very uplifting, and it will get you going for your week. Okay, did you find it, Janice? Okay, I'm just going to go start the video here. I'll be right. I won't be back. Bye.